All right. Good evening, everyone. I am happy to see you all here and hope you will join us. So I see some cities from Smila. Hello, Cherkasy, Poltava. Really great that so many people from so many places are interested in their continuous professional development and really want to know something about methodology, to understand how to become better. Yeah, Khust, Chernigiv, Kagarlik. Wow, nice to see you all here. Bravary. Oh, so our neighbors. So let's wait for some more people to join us, and then we will start. So that's really great that you know where to write the question, the answer. So if you're the first time here, you can see the question mark somewhere at the right top corner of your screens. This is the way that you can communicate with me. This platform doesn't have a chat box, but it has this option to ask questions to the speaker. I'm trying to follow the questions and to answer as many as it is possible during the webinar. So if you have any comments, any questions, anything, feel free to write to me. And in this way, the webinar will be the most powerful, right? So I can answer the question that you have, and you can get the most use of it. So again, hello everyone. My name is Diani Головань. I am an LT consultant in Linguist Company, and I work with the publishing house, National Geographic Learning. This publishing house is okay, I'm very sorry. All right. So this publishing house tells us about the world. Their main aim, their main goal is to show that English is not just a subject somewhere in the timetable. This is something that we need in order to be successful citizens, successful individuals. While using the books from this publishing house, teachers and their students see how language works, see the situation, the real life situation where they can implement all the knowledge that they get. Moreover, it is if you have already used or seen the books, you couldn't help but notice those stunning photos, those high quality videos, and everything that is up to date and about real situations, about real people. So you can have lots of different discussions about so many things in the world. And actually, this is one way to study something more. So you can have knowledge in different fields, and then in some situations you can even use it. So this is so you can take lots from these books. Some organizational moments. All people, so if you are here, if you see it, it means that you receive certificates. They are sent automatically within several days. So please be patient and don't forget to check your junk mail box or unwanted mail. These are the places where lots of certificates can get, because it's automatically, so sometimes systems recognize it as spam. If for some reasons you can't find the certificates, everything could happen. So feel free to contact me, and I will try to respond to you as quick as possible. I know that some people are still waiting for their certificates. Again, please check the mailbox, and if you wrote me the letter, I will respond it. Just these days I'm business trips, that's why I have some kind of difficulties to sit down and to help you with all the requests immediately, but I will definitely do it before the new year, so not to take it for the new year. Our plan for today. So we are going to talk actually about assessment, something that without what the learning process is not complete. And we will look at the requirements. What is an assessment in terms of new Ukrainian school? And also one of the requirements is about formative assessment. So we will look at it closer and to see what can be done in order to not to get much more work for yourselves. So what can you do during the lessons? How can you slightly change your routine in order to respond to these requirements? And and get some more free time, because for us teachers it's very important to be dedicated to our work, but also not forget that we are all humans with our own interests, with something that hobbies, so doing something that inspires us. In this way we are even more interesting for our students in our jobs, right? So this is our plan, and some more information about National Geographic Learning, about what it does in Ukraine. Several weeks ago, we set up speaking clubs for teachers. Now they are in Kiev only, at our office. So if you are from Kiev, we welcome you to join us on Thursdays. So you can see that the next speaking club is next Thursday, which is the 19th of December. This is a place where we meet and we discuss different topics, not the methodological topics, not something about our students, just anything. We were talking about our dreams and goals once. We were talking about modern teenagers, about what makes them so interesting and unique. And if you follow our Facebook, you will see what is our next topic. So the main aim is to get teachers together and practice speaking English on high level. Forget about all those explanations about talking to lower level students, but to remember that you actually speak English and practice it for the whole hour. Again, we will be really happy to see you. All the information is going to be at our Facebook page. I will share this page with you, and you have to register and come. So this is the next Thursday. Also, for teachers from all over Ukraine, teachers who work at schools, at private courses with school age children, so primary, secondary school learners, we set up video competition, so devoted to Christmas. So if you scan this QR code now, you will open the requirements, what you need. Also, all the information is available at our site, linguist.ua. So some basics from this competition. During this month, we invite all teachers and their students to record a video with instructions how to make Christmas cards. So just clear step-by-step instructions, how can it be done. Another option for the video is to discover an interesting Christmas or New Year recipe, and again make a video like these cooking programs, how to cook this or that dish. National Geographic Learning is about the world, the different cultures. So we invite you to investigate different cultures, find out something that can be interesting for you, and share it with us. It doesn't matter how long your video is, but there are some requirements about the quality, about what instructions should be done. Everything you can read if you scan the QR code, or you will receive the information in the follow-up email. The winners, we will pay attention that there are some younger students, some older students, so we will look at like primary and secondary school students. So all children, all teachers who were chosen as the winners, who will be chosen as the winners, will get certificates. Even if the student was not at the video, but you noted that he or she helped you to make the video, maybe he wrote the script or he took part in this investigation process, we will also send him or her the certificate. And the class and the teacher of the class will get a prize, quite a really valuable prize to be used in your classroom. The winners will be announced on January 13th, so after your winter vacation. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just reading your questions. So, grammar with young learners, November 22, Vitalina. Okay, I will write down your name. I will check. Again, probably it's like it was more than a month ago, less than a month ago. So you try to check your junk box, and I will have a look and try to help you. Could students of college take part in this competition? So if the college is something that is not the higher education but secondary, yes. So maybe this is like vocational education also, yes, it's possible. Not for higher education because we will make the competition for students, but it's going to be next year. It will be really, really interesting and it's inspiring. The content is taking place now, so we are waiting for your videos till the end of the December, and then during your break, your winter break, we will look at them, evaluate them. There are some criteria which we pay attention to, and then on January 13th we'll announce the winners. We will announce them on Facebook page, and also we will contact you, and they get secondary education on the first. Yes, so yes, you can for sure. All right, so let's move on. Again, you can find out all the information, the dates, everything, if you scan the code or in the follow-up email. Anyway, you have my email, so feel free, write me, call me, or write me maybe to Viber, and I will give you instructions and explain you more. So here you can see different books that our publishing house suggests. You can see that there are books for different ages, for different purposes. You can find interesting projects and communicative tasks, lots of communicative tasks, and clear teachers' explanations in the books for primary students and for secondary students. If you have already used them, I think that you understand that National Geographic is real high-quality materials for teachers who love what they are doing, and also who understand that in modern world we need to develop these skills like collaboration, communication, critical thinking. that we grow in the world where not so strict borders between the nations. So people start traveling much more. So many opportunities to do international business, and we need to understand different cultures. And with these books, it's possible. Also, there are really good series for adults, for general English, if you need more communication, if you need something from business. Some of the books, like Perspectives and Keynote, are based on TED Talks. Probably heard about the TED Talks. This is an initiative where speakers share something that they are proud of, or maybe they are real professional in some field. So they give really inspirational, really high quality presentation. And what the National Geographic Learning does, so they took legally, of course, some of the TED Talks and build whole units around them. So there is, again, this is about the book's perspectives and keynotes. So you can discuss with the students some really up-to-date topics about the art, about the science, about social problems, and they will hear the real, authentic speech. They will see inspiring examples of speakers, and they will practice this speaking and these presentation skills. If you are worried about future ZNO exams, or maybe the PA exams, or you prepare for international exams, have a look at Close Up. There is the book that gives a really interesting and thorough preparation for exams, with lots of tips, with really necessary vocabulary, with tasks that are in form of exam, and students will get so many chances to practice it, so they will be really prepared for taking exams. If you have any, some questions about the books, write to me, call me, we will show you the books, we will share with you how to work with them, how to take most of them. And so let's finally start. We are going to talk about assessment. What associations do you have? How long should the video last for competition? It doesn't matter, actually. We don't have any time limits, so it's up to you. But it should follow some requirements that are on our site. So again, my question to you is, what associations do you have when you hear the word assessment? Test, control, progress, results. Very nice, thank you. Tests again. Okay, I see. So if you don't, if you are here for the first time and you don't know where to write the answers, please look at the right top corner. There is a question mark where you can type in your answer, and nobody sees this except me. And I'm following, and I'm trying to read out as many as possible. Again, test, evaluation. Oh, that's interesting. Motivation. Motivation, that's nice. Result. Background, probably background knowledge, right? Tests again, right? So most of the answers are about the test. Progress, right? Skills. Hello, Julia. Results, control, marks, inspiration. Wow, what interesting association there. Key, right? Key, like key test, or keys like the answers for the test. Tasks, variation tests, right? So actually, key knowledge. Right. Thank you. Thank you, Yaroslav. Key knowledge. Right. So measurements. Thank you for sharing. Right. So usually the first association is test, is control, marks, right? But does assessment equal testing? What do you think? Do you agree with this? So assessment, tools, how to get knowledge. Why? Yes, sure. Reading, speaking, audition skills, writing skills. Thank you for sharing. So do you agree with this equation that assessment equals testing? Yes, so people write yes, some people write no. Not always, right. Yes, no, no, yes, okay. To some extent, mostly yes, partly. So I see that we are on the same wave, actually. Thank you for being active. What I like in webinars is when people really share what they think, even though nobody except me can read it. So yeah, it really helps me that I see that I'm not alone here actually in the room. Right, the result of knowledge, it is the result of knowledge. No, not always, maybe encouraging points. Okay, so if to look at the diagram, you can see that we have a really big circle. Total is evaluation, right? Inside the circle, we have some processes like assessment, yeah, and also testing. So those, if you wrote that you partly agree that it is to some extent, so you were right. And you understand this, of course, not from this diagram, but from your own experience, I guess. The tests is just a part of assessment, right? We can assess our students not only with the use of tests, but with some different other instruments, right? What comes to your mind? Yeah, tests is only one of the methods, but what you think other methods are? So when you don't put the marks, right, but you see your students, you understand that they are better at something. Yeah, projects, essays. So it could be different, not just tests, right? Tests have very limited they show not so much, right? So they have some options, some closed answers, right? But essays, presentations, speaking, projects, they can show something. This is what students can use, right? Oral answers, yes, and everything could be assessed, right? Evaluation is like the global continuous process. So it happens during all the learning process. So we do tests, we do projects, we evaluate the speaking tasks, we evaluate some essays, right? And then it's like the one part of evaluation. But evaluation involves also the reasons why we do it. So when we can evaluate the progress of students and then to build up the strategy, what should be done next? How can we change our learning? What can be done to improve students' knowledge? Should we go back and return something, or we need to move even further, faster, because they do really great progress? So don't forget about all those instruments, projects, essays, tests sometimes from time to time, and it's like it helps you build the whole picture understanding. Okay, we are also, so according to the modern school, according to the new Ukrainian school, They are talking about formative assessment, something that is important to my mind always, but they talk about the second graders and also about the first graders, right? So they say that we don't put marks, but we try to form the personality of our students, right? To help them to become successful while doing different actions, right? We can analyze their portfolios. We can teach them how to self-evaluate. We observe their work, right? And the question is how it can be done. Earlier, everything was quite easy. We wrote dictation, we put them marks, maybe we give them stickers. They are happy, we know that they know something, and some students still need more work. But what happens now? No marks, no stickers, no other signs that can show that today you were a brilliant son, right? How it can be done. And let's try to. Okay, I see here are some people not only from Ukraine, but also from another country. So we are talking here about Ukrainian requirements, how assessment should be done in the first grade, and the first and the second grade. This is without marks. This is without, it's called formative assessment with different instruments. So to understand more the situation and with the children, I suggest you to look at this sentence. This is taken from methodological book wrote by a great methodologist who actually is an editor of some series for children and for teenagers at National Geographic Learning. And try to put the words that you can see on the top on the lines. You don't need to write the answer, it's just for you. So try to make the sentence. All right, I hope that you had enough time to compound the sentence. So here are the answers. So children need time to play with language and experience the joy of language without feeling that their every step is judged or graded. This is what happens now in modern schools, and we sometimes can be upset with this. So we always need to play, but when the study takes place. But yes, it's important for children to, they were babies several years ago. Now they're at school and they need to feel confident, to feel comfortable, and to feel that they can enjoy the process. So that's why they have this time, they are given this time now, right? But what about the teacher? What teacher does while children are having fun? Does a teacher have fun together with students? Just forget about everything and let's dance, let's play some games, let's skip, let's sing, or teacher has something more serious to do? Okay, thank you for the answers. I see that you are really involved. Yes, teachers can have fun too. Actually, if you can make the situation, understand the situation, everything, yes, you can relax and have fun with children. When, if not during those lessons, right? Monitors, yes. Have fun, he joins his students. For sure, students will love it, right? So they will see the teacher not as that strict woman who is always in a, or man who is always serious, right? But they will see that the teachers are also people. Monitor the situation, organize the fun in study and research, right? So we have to understand that what is the game for children doesn't mean it's the game for us, right? We make something in the form of a game, but the studying process, right? So yeah, again, according to the methodologist, teachers can also be thinking about direction for future lessons or special help the students might need, right? So they see the students playing, but they analyze what happens. They see that some children really show that they use the language. For some children, it's just fun, and they are happy about having fun, but they don't actually use the language. So this is where the teacher should pay attention. It doesn't mean that the student needs to be punished or something like that, right? It means that these children need more support. They need more explanations. So that maybe the next lesson, again, you return and repeat this. And according to their response to the game, you will understand what happens, right? So again, if you turn back to those requirements, so the first task that formative assessment is done during observation, right? And it's not a secret that actually we do it all the time, right? This is like the part that is always with us. We see that these children know more than the program requires. Some children need extra tasks. Some children are not interested in this task, right? Everything, so it's even subconsciously for us to observe. So if you remember your lessons, can you do the things that I wrote? Can you say if your pupils need more practice without doing any tests, without just conducting the lesson? Is it something that you can answer, right? Yeah, you try. Organize these activities. Yeah. Who had better progression? So, right, so the lesson ends, or during the lesson, at any moment, do you feel that you really observe, you try to monitor the students and answer the questions, what is going on with the lesson, what is happening, right? So let's imagine that we are going to have the lesson using this book. So as a teacher, I need to do some planning. Of course, I see that there are some words. So I will teach my students some vocabulary. Of course, we will pay attention to pronunciation, so they will know how to say sounds. There are even some words that have silent letters, so we have to pay attention on these, right? We will observe how the students understand the vocabulary, right? So at the end of the lesson, you can say if they use the vocabulary, if they know the vocabulary, who of the students needs more, who can move forward, right? Also, they will develop some reading skills. So you see it from the book, right? That they will read something, they will understand new vocabulary in context. So we can also observe how their reading skills are developed, right? And writing skills. For primary students, writing words, right? Writing, understanding the context and writing the words is really hard work. So before I start the lesson, I look at this page and I understand that these are the main things that I should observe, right? But are they the only things? There is something more that we can observe. So what I suggest also. So first of all, you can observe how your students understand the instruction. So if you are those brave teachers who try to speak English all the lessons and not to switch to native language all the time, you can find it really challenging that even understanding instruction could be a challenge, could be something that students need to learn. And if you observe it all the time, you focus on this, you will see that, okay, now I need more time to explain. But in a week, in a month, okay, wow, the class is getting really better. Now I don't need to explain, spend so much time on explanation. They really understand how the book works, and if they see these words yes and no, like in exercise 3, they will respond to it, they will do it as the book says. They can even read the instructions maybe, right? So you don't just observe their studying skills, but you pay attention to something, skills, but you also pay attention to their studying skills, like ability to understand instructions. If they can work in pairs or individually, yes. For some children it's really challenging not to fly away in their dreams far away, but to do the task, to concentrate and to spend the time that you devote for working, actually to work. So you can observe this and you can understand that, all right, so yes, they are becoming better. Now they can work in pairs. They use English. Sometimes maybe they use English when they work in pairs, but they are making progress. So this is something we also need to concentrate during our observation. Yeah? If they can check their answers, it's really important. Remember, our teachers and we as teachers always do it. So check your answers. Don't hurry up. Try again. Have a look. Be consistent. So and we can focus on this also. So we observe not just language skills, right? But we observe things. Yeah, I read. People agree with me. Thank you for the support. So this is about observation, and it does really a lot. How can you do this? Right, when the lesson finishes, we don't have time, so much time to analyze everything, to like we did it in some teacher development course, you have to write what can be done better, but we can take a habit and to do it all the time, just to ask ourselves some questions. So there was about vocabulary. So can my pupils use the new words? Maybe yes, maybe no, maybe some. Yeah, can they understand the tasks easily? What I like about the lesson. So this is a question that I always ask myself. What could have been done better, right? There is always something that could have been done better. Maybe they didn't need so much time on presentation. More practice would be much better, right? And of course, we need to create the link to the next lesson. So after our observation, we can understand what revision, how we can start the lesson next time, right? And the teacher can also do some notes. So if you have teacher's book, it's like this one in our Wonderful World series. This lesson planner, it is called, it has something that shows what the unit is going to be about, the topic, the vocabulary, the grammar. So if you have it, make the most of it. You use the instructions, you use the tips from the book, you follow the procedure, but you also can contribute in this book and make it your personal, right? So you can use maybe stickers, maybe post-it notes or pencil, and you take note that, okay, this one was great. Here I need to pay attention to the pronunciation. You can even do it before the lesson, so you understand what you need to pay attention to. Not why I'm talking about this is just because when we say observation, it sounds a bit like a lot of work to do, right? So, okay, we should pay attention to this, to this, to that, and when I have time for this, right? But if you think about it, if you plan it, you will understand that, okay, so today I will focus on how my students are good at their pair work. I will focus on how my students are good with their vocabulary, right? And this is what you evaluate for yourself, right? Also, you can do some notes in your books, like, okay, this task was really easy for my students, but Anya needs some practice, right? And next time, maybe the next lesson is going to be after the holidays or after weekends. You totally forget about everything, but there you have your notes, and you use them in order to create these links during the lessons. Another thing is portfolio, right? Something that is really like a fashion for teachers to talk about the students' portfolio. Do you like it? Do you use it? Do you, is it normal? I don't see any chat. Yes, it's normal. We have this kind of communication when you can ask me a question, I can read it, but nobody else can read it. Someone wrote that you didn't use the portfolio, tried to use. That's great. Yeah, it's actually what, yes, people used portfolio. So different experiences here, and it's nice. Yes, we use it. All right, if you use it, or if you have heard about this, what portfolio is actually in your, maybe in your practice, in your understanding, students' portfolio. So a collection, okay, collection. Achievements, right? Yes, so this is a collection of achievements. Takes lots of time, but I try to, yes, it really takes lots of time, especially if you just started. When the system is organized, everything has become much quicker. Projects, pupils' works, yes, we use it. Great. I hope that today you will find out some more ideas what can be put in the portfolio. If you use the portfolio, so like if to come back to methodology, we know that portfolio is a collection of students' works, pictures, posters, oral performances done by themselves. So the important things here is themselves. So why we need the portfolio? To see the progress of the students, right? To see that, okay, at the beginning of the year, the students was not really concentrated at his or her results. He did something with not much effort, but because of the work, because of my hard work and the patience of students and parents and teachers, now their works are much neater, they make much more sense. It's not just because teacher told so, but because they like it, right? So, and maybe also the use of language. So at first he did just the pictures with several words, but now you can see that it's May and he can write a short note, right? What is great about portfolio is that it shows the individual development of the student, because all of us are different. Some people learn quicker, some people learn slower. For some people, school practice is not enough, they need more, but they try, maybe they don't attend anything additional, they go to school, and if they do it, they and you will see that, okay, the process is going on. Maybe it's not as quick as I would like to, but yes, something has been developed. Children like it. Yes, children are right. Yes, visible results. It's useful, but not always. Yeah. Is it for every student? Actually, it's up to you. You can create the class portfolio or student portfolio. Of course, for teachers who have 30 students in their class, it sounds like crazy, right? But again, we are not just teachers. We are managers, we are organizers, so we can organize the process. We need to show the pupils how to store their work, right? It can be done in a folder. You can have some place. Maybe they just do it at home. And actually, as far as I remember myself at this age, but I'm talking just about the girls probably here, all of the girls like to have these notebooks where they stick something in, where they wrote down in. So it's like diaries, right? So make most of these and ask students to have their own diaries, and maybe even create some of the works yourself and prepare this diary or this folder by yourself and show them, okay, students, here I have the folder, here I have the file, I put my project here and I keep it, because then at the end of the year, you will see how much work you have done, right? Or you can show your parents that what you do. You can show to your friends, right? Of course, maybe engage, explain this to parents at their gathering, right? What else? Students should be interested in this. If they see how it is done and if they're interested in this, so you make them do this portfolio by themselves. They become more independent and they need to eat, because this is just like the studying skills, right? So it's do it more frequently when it is the beginning of the year. So the September finishes, maybe they already have some work. So ask them, all right, next lesson, please bring the word that you really like, that you are proud of, and present it. You decide if they just put it somewhere on the wall or if they talk about it. But when they bring it, when they show it, they understand that everything that they collect, it's not just to have, I don't know, because teacher told so, right? But because they will use it. You can do it first, you can do it every month, every week. Then do it not so frequently, maybe at the end of the quarter, the end of the year. So this is a process that should be organized. You show how to do it. Students understand it, and you remind, okay, don't forget to, don't do it by yourself. Don't collect all the works and put them in the folders. It's easier and faster way, but in this way, students will not study how to do that. Maybe some of them need more support, but most of them will understand that, yes, I did this project, now I have to put it in my folder. If they are familiar with the routine, they will repeat it, right? Encourage to collect different pieces of work, not only pictures, but maybe a great dictation, or maybe take photo of the perfect exercise from your book and put it in your portfolio, right? And of course, it's your own example. Do it together with your class. Yeah, you will have some creativity during the work. You will show that they will see the example that, okay, portfolio is something that should be neat. It's something that should be beautiful. During my practice, we did it in different ways. There were folders where students put their works. There were albums. So when it is a project time, I just hand out their albums so that they decorated by themselves, and they did everything here, or they stick their work there. And there were children who came to me and asked me to these albums again and again to add more. And then at the end of the year, they were really proud of this. It was, so I just keep them, but everything was done by the students. I didn't stick there any work. It was up to them. Of some students' portfolio was just something that is written by the blue pen without any pictures, just some words, some texts. But this is how they do it, right? Nobody says that it should be like you're an artist. For them, it was okay. They didn't need these artistic skills. But anyway, we could see that, okay, there they wrote something with lots of mistakes. Next, there were less mistakes, and then they even start to draw some pictures. What can you do also? We don't have so much time in our program to make these portfolios, to pay attention every lesson, every unit. And of course, and we don't do homeworks at the first grade, right? But we can do something useful, right? For first graders, it should be something like this. So you have this word search, right? With the month of the year or with the seasons, right? So first students did their word search, right? They found some words connected to weather and seasons: spring, autumn, winter, summer, cold, hot. What you do next? Here is a suggestion from lesson planner. Make your own word search, right? You hand out a grid of 10 squares, it should be even from notebook, and show students how to fill the grid. Give them word limit, for example, 8 words, right? Then they write down these words, they put another word. So this is something that they have just done, now they can practice it. It's really quick. Then some students swap their word searches and do the task. So again, they have even more practice. Then you take this and you stick it in your folder, in your notebook, in something where you keep the project. So this is fast, this is useful. It doesn't require lots of materials, just a piece of paper, but students will leave it with them. They will do it by themselves. Maybe they will finally study how to write this word autumn. If we talk about projects, you make them personal. For example, here is the lesson devoted to month. Students have read the text, they did the exercise, they studied the month or revised the months anyway. A great lesson that develops lots of skills, but also ask the students to do this, to take out their portfolios, maybe to take the pieces of paper and then to stick it to portfolios, then ask them to do these simple steps. So for first, copy months of the year. It's something for maybe for third graders, fourth graders, for second graders actually also. You circle your favorite one, maybe with the red pen, and underline the most important. I like June because it is my birthday. I like May because it's my mother's birthday. Yeah, something like that. Again, it's really easy. It has lots of necessary practice, like writing practice, but they do something personal and they like it. It's just a list of months, but they give something personal. And again, they stick it you will see, and then at the end of the year, they can show it, this project, and explain, I underlined August because this is when my cat was born, or something like that, right? Yeah, so you can see the task now more clearly. Put in the context. Thank you for your note. Right. Okay, let's move on. As far as I see, we don't have so much time. Actually, next week at our Facebook page and our Linguist site, you will see the lesson plan with the use of this page from the book. You can download. You will be able to download the book, and you will be able to download the lesson plan. Maybe you just need it. So this is something that you can use with the second or third grade, maybe fourth grade, so it depends on the students. And it's going to be with the use of the book, with the use of all the materials that can be downloaded, and also some creativity, something. So it's going to be next week. Okay, again, if we talk about portfolio and assessment, right? This is great. So we finally start to use the portfolio. Our students get used to it. But how can it help? How it can help us to evaluate their work, to assess their work, and to do it without any marks, without any stickers, right? You create rubrics, right? What you do, you just, when you plan the project like this, you just cut out the cards, write down what you can do, and now you have these can do, can't do pieces of cards, and you can play with them, any memory game or matching game or something like that, right? So you can prepare, before that, you prepare things that you will focus on, right? If we need to evaluate skills, what skills we evaluate in here? We evaluate the ability to write, right? Maybe if we talk about studying habits, so if they're first graders, so if these cards are neat, right? If they understand the task actually, if they have enough time, they finished all 8 cards within 10 minutes, maybe, right? So you just take a piece of paper and you write it. Personal development, so how neat the works are, how creative they are, right? So you just choose some points to focus on during the task, and then students can self-evaluate themselves. So you give them this, and they will put maybe ticks. So, okay, I can do this, I can do this. About neat. Okay, maybe not so neat, they will not tick this. Yeah, and it helps you to see actually how they're good at this self evaluation process, right? Also, there was a note about lesson feedback. So when you finish the lesson, you need to get the feedback. Again, go back to your teacher's book, have a look at the lesson aims, and see if the students have met these aims, right? This is what you need you can ask them to say one word from the lesson. You can ask them to write something. Yeah, you can play it like a game, like exit tickets. So you can write something you remember from the lesson, give it to teacher, then you are free, or something like that. So you need to collect the feedback in order to see that, okay, this lesson was successful. And I really believe that most of the lessons are like that, right? But you just, if you see this feedback, it makes you, first of all, it makes you feel more comfortable, and also it shows you that the real situation, because sometimes we can see that, okay, something is going on wrong. They don't understand the language, they don't remember the words, but then you collect their feedbacks, you play a snowball game when they say a word and repeat after one another and add up more words. Okay, yes, it was just something that actually they really understand the vocabulary or something like that, right? And this helps to build you these connections between lessons, which I was talking about, and about spaced it's about spaced repetition. I have already mentioned it during one of my webinars. So you will see that they need to repeat these words again in several weeks. They need to repeat this structure again in 10 days, right? And if you do the notes, like I told before, right, it helps you to build this whole system together with self-assessment, together with assessment of projects. You get a really clear picture, and the learning process is much more is much easier, is much more comfortable, more structured for you. And yes, if The headmaster, if parents come to you and ask you about assessment, about the children result, and you don't have the marks, you have nothing to do. Now you have something that you can that can support you, right? So you have this portfolio, you have your own observation in the textbook, and okay, you see, right, Anya has some problems with the vocabulary. You see here, yeah, I noted it and something like that, right? So it means that you do it in like, and to control, to manage the process of studying, and also to show this, the results to people who are interested in those results, right? Some words of the tests, you sometimes ask me if they are important. Yes, they are. Someone wrote microphone. This is like the game to finish the class, right? Tests. If you do the tests, I think they are really quick and useful way to show the progress, right? It doesn't show the whole picture, but the part of the picture for sure. And we don't put marks, right? We can't draw smiles or something, or hearts or stars. But what we can do, we can check it together with the students. They can exchange the works and compare to the answers. And this will be like a game for them. And then when the time comes and they will get the marks for their tests, they will be ready. It won't be so stressful for them, because they will, first of all, during the first years, they will understand the procedure, how the tests should be done. And also, they won't be afraid of them, because before that, yes, I wrote something when teacher didn't help me, but then I had time to check and to become better than I was at the beginning of the lesson. So this is why we do it. This is why we don't put any marks, and why, but we still do the tests. All right. So dear teachers, thank you very much for your participation. I hope that you find some ideas of our work. For your work, you find, you understand how this assessment process without any marks works, and actually helps us to develop really strong students that are confident, that have lots of studying skills, that are not afraid of challenges. And join us in some social network sites. So here is our Facebook page, National Geographic Learning Ukraine, where we put interesting ideas, interesting tips for students, and all the news can be found out over there. For example, video lessons with the photos, some video instructions, what can be done with the photos, interesting facts about everything in the world. Again, certificates. The certificates will be sent to you during the next several days. Please wait for it, and if you don't have it, write me, but just wait for a week. Don't forget to check the spam folder, and then if anything come, then of course mail me. I will try to help you. Any questions? I know that we are a bit out of time, but anyway, do you have any questions? Okay, thank you for your kind words. I hope motivate. Thank you. I hope I try to do it, because I understand that it's the end of December. Nobody wants to work anymore. Everyone wants to have fun at the new year, but we have all these tests, all these documents. Yeah, so please, if you already use this book, Wonderful World, don't forget that we have a collection of resources for teachers for the beginning of the course, with lesson plans, with some cards, and you can use them during your whole year, maybe even several years, where you can practice vocabulary, speaking. You have these puppet toys, Everything is for free, and you can find it at our site linguist.ua. In this, if you follow this way, you find the видавництво and then National Geographic Learning. So everything can be downloaded there to make most of the book Wonderful World, second edition. This is the series that inspired me. The great book that shows us different cultures, have beautiful pictures, and gives really structured way to study the language. It has interesting projects. The lesson planner is awesome with lots of ideas. You saw that today I used some of them, and you understand that it really works. If you use the our book, don't forget about the site, videos, additional videos, tests, comics, some additional graphic charts, word list, audio scripts, everything is there. You need your lesson planner and find there the code to enter it. Materials for students are completely free. There are audios. And also, if you saw this book today for the first time, but you understand that, oh, it's something I would like to try, here is something for you. Try a unit. This is where you can find all one unit from all the levels with everything: students book, workbook, lesson planner, grammar book, all the audio, video that are necessary to cover the unit. To find it, this is the way to find it, ngl.com, sites, Wonderful World, second edition. You can actually just write in the search engine, Wonderful World, sites, and it will show it to you. Again, you will get the certificates, but you have to be patient and check your mail, junk mail or unwanted mailbox. Don't forget to send us the video for competition. We have already received some of them, and they were really stunning, and we are waiting for more participations. We really want to help you to finish this term with something interesting and creative, and this is one of the way. And besides all the fun that you will get while during the video, you will also have a great chance to win the prize. This is me, my contact details, so let's keep in touch. And I think that I will see most of you next year during our next webinar. So just wait for announcement. If you have any questions, everything. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. Actually, yes, I won't see you all till the next year or so. In advance, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Have the amazing finishing of this school year. Just be patient. We will do it, right? And then have fun during your celebrations. So thank you so much for being active, for participation, and let's move on. Let's continue our professional development together. So goodbye.